Highway 65, just north of, you know where 694 crosses Central Avenue?
Oh, yes.
Um, so it's just north of Minneapolis, and it's technically at Frid Lake, and it's an old supper club, and it overlooks a really small lake. So it has lots of, romantic lighting, and it looks like where the Rat Pack guys were.
Okay, cool.
And they have like pretty high quality jazz, acts. But like Maria Jetty has performed there.
Okay.
But it's a cool room, and it's like, Dr. Kwame kind of act could slay him.
All right, so you ready?
Yep, let's warm up. Practice the applause.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I love the smell of burning hamstrings in the morning, as will many of you. Raise your hand if you did the race today. Excellent, a room full of brilliant people. There you go, all right, man, good for you. Man, you're a man after my own heart. That's remarkable. What a journey it is. Unbelievable what these people do. Racing in the sub-zero temperatures. Take that, polar vortex. Well, this is a live show, so we expect you all to be very, very cool and do not blurt out expletives. Google expletive, ma'am. I can tell you're confused. Seriously, it'll be live. It's going to be streaming through the Paradise Theater. We want to thank them. And what a beautiful space this is, huh? Outstanding facility. They've had the heater on all day just to get it to this balmy temperature. It's so cool to see all the stocking caps still on people's heads. I am Dr. Kwamba, and in just a few minutes we're going to start the production. You'll see this beautiful display here go on indicating that we are on the air, at which point we are what? Man, I love an audience that understands things. It's outstanding. We'll confuse you later during the show. But it's a great opportunity. Look at all these beautiful people up here. Several of them also did the race today. Pretty impressive. I did the race backwards just because that's how I roll. Yeah, you better believe it. My hamstrings will never be the same. But we'll turn the light on here in just a minute, and we ask you to applaud mightily, laugh, get up and dance if you want to. There's going to be some really cool music tonight, as well as entertainment that I think you'll find both challenging and stimulative, which is our goal tonight, to stimulate you. So be ready to be stimulated. In just a few minutes, the Vasa Radio Hour shall begin. At precisely 7 p.m., so you still have 10 minutes. If you want popcorn or to go slide a grumbler, do that now. Yes, I did say slide a grumbler. And I won't do that during the radio broadcast. It's not an expletive. Grumbler. What is that? I don't even know what it means. And why would you slide it? What's wrong with me? I stole this coat off a concierge at the Marriott Hotel in Reno, Nevada. He's still a little pissed. He'll get over it. He must have 12 of them. I am a real doctor, by the way. I went to the Trump University of Essential Oils, and I don't know what it all means, but I smell fantastic.
Essential oils.
And then my burps like smell really minty. Oh man. One of them called Stay Fit. I don't know what it could be slowly killing me.
Jared, I'm really glad that you
Yep. 7.
my 4K, the one that I
started like really, really high. One was
No, it helps.
so far away. Roger always keeps me close by.
I feel like if I really watch the whole episode, I should watch it.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Back to what the script says.
Yeah.
It's an outline
We
over
have
there.
the long cadence. Doesn't even work. Yeah.
And so I'm not going to try the Swedish accent. He wants English. I'm always trying to please this little bastard. What? What's he going to do? I mean, in reality, what is he going to do? I would be a king boxer, you know? Way. Gustav Eriksson?
Yeah, Gustav Eriksson. No, it was wonderful. Even in the Italian bit.
Well, only the Italian bits when they got to talk about
No, I'm King Pasta.
King Pasta.
No, please. Defy. Rebel.
I'll never say squirrel the same again.
Little.
How about squirrel? Squirrel. That was, you know,
Okay, Linda. Excuse me. Ready to roll for the trailer? Yep. So go ahead when you're ready.
she says, gunshot on that king. Buckthorn. You made it sound like an expert.
So is it? Okay. We'll call Hawkins.
What's Hawkins' last name again?
We've got about 3 minutes until we actually go out onto the vast interwebs. That said, I want to see a little Linda over here. Linda, how you doing, Linda?
Really good, and you?
You look fantastic. I love the hat. So you're playing all day today. You didn't ski today, but I understand you have skied this race before,
Yes, I have, twice.
and you bled
Yeah, I did. I
on both your knees, right?
fell very hard and saw stars once.
Did you sue anybody? Did you get any money out of that deal?
No, I just asked to have them look and see if my ears were bleeding.
Wow, because that's a bad sign. Dr. Terry Johnson will be here later. We'll ask him about that. Should blood start squirting out of your ears? Is that a problem? I'm thinking it was, but you survived it. There's still a little blood coming out of your ears right now. Is that part of it? Is that from blowing your horn too hard?
I was just going to ask, but
It's all right. It blends in with your hair, makes it all Auburny. It's beautiful, seriously. And what a great band you have. Look at all these people. Holy cow. You guys look fantastic. Last year you looked good. This year, fantastic. Seriously. I think it's the cold weather. It kind of stiffens us all up a little bit, doesn't it? Makes the skin just a little bit tighter before your nose falls off. And the cast over there, how you doing, kids? All right, everybody ready? Got your energy up? I think I threw my back out. The fondest memory of childhood for me was my back not hurting, frankly. That's the only fond memory of childhood. But we're moments away. But good to see you again, Lynn. I'm so glad you brought all these guys here. And thanks again for those of you appearing courtesy of the Stillwater Work Release Program. Really glad to let you out. Stay away from me and watch your wallets. We're very close now. How far are we away, Roger?
Just seconds away.
Seconds away. Can you feel the electricity?
Wait for the signal.
It's important we get this right.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary humanoids of all ages and dimensions, visiting guests and foreign dignitaries, longtime residents of this fine community, as well as warmly welcome newcomers, the moment you have all been eagerly anticipating has finally arrived. Vasa Radio Hour is on the air. Live from the elegantly restored Paradise Theater in beautiful downtown Mora, Minnesota, and broadcast to the furthest reaches of the galaxy via once unimaginable technological marvels, a program of exceptional integrity, variety, and exquisitely crafted humor, featuring perilous acts of dramatic flair from every corner of the globe, songs of joy, tales of sorrow, and brief but inspiring glimpses of hope for the future, compassionately brought to you by First Light Health System. And now, it is with great pleasure we present to you your self-medicating host for the evening, a man with more charm than a home monitoring bracelet, fewer flaws than an old boyfriend, and more honorary degrees than a rectal thermometer. A pioneer in the field of multi-level marketing, a veteran of vaudeville, and a former countertenor with the Minnesota Opera New Music Theater Ensemble. A man who never says no to a locally brewed beer. Please welcome to the Paradise Proscenium stage, the incomparable, the inimitable, the inexhaustible, the one, the only, Dr. Kawamba!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are too kind, entirely too kind. It's great to be back in my adoptive hometown of Mora, Minnesota. You know, I never really had a hometown, a town to call my own. My birth certificate states quite clearly that I was born on a mail train, Hinkley bound, out of St. Cloud. My mama went into labor about a mile east of Malacca, and all the jostling seemed to loosen me up pretty quick. Legend has it that the boiler man delivered me with a coal shovel. Yeah, nasty. Just as I plopped out, he asked my dear mama what she wanted to name me, and at that very same instant, the conductor yelled out the train's next stop, Kwamba! And so, the name stuck, and I've gone by that name ever since, Dr. Kwamba. I try to get back as often as I can, but sadly, it's just not often enough. We live in a busy world, where it seems things can move faster and faster than ever. And as my good friend who happens to chair the Department of Astrophysics at Pine Tech likes to remind me, yeah, he's still there. The only constant is change.
I heard that before somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. That change is constant.
That's okay. Keep the change.
I popped into the Crystal and took my usual spot at the end of the bar, but as I looked around, I didn't see Mike anywhere. Is Mike around? I asked somewhat apprehensively, hoping upon hope that Mike was indeed still around.
Oh, Mike and Deb sold the place.
Sold the place?
Yep.
The crystal?
Yep.
Mike and Deb sold the crystal?
Yeah, to the Gottfridsons.
The Gottfridsons?
Carl and Amy.
Amy, the waitress?
Yep.
The one who knows exactly what I'm going to order even before I know what I'm going to order?
That's the one.
Well, good for her. Them, the Gottfridsons, the crystal. That's good, I guess. Change can be a good thing.
And Mora's changed a whole heck of a lot since you were last here, since last year's race.
Well, the first thing I noticed when I pulled into town off of 65 was no more buildings there at that funny little intersection.
Ah, yeah, the Y.
The why?
The Y.
They call it the Y.
Why do they call it the Y?
That's very philosophical.
Why?
Because it is?
No. Why the why?
No, why?
Why?
Yes, why?
Why?
Because of the shape it makes where the roads come together.
Oh, like the letter Y.
Oh, why? Now I get it.
Oh, why? Oi.
And years ago, there was a gas station there, the Y station.
That still sounds very philosophical. The Y station, where the roads come together.
Yes, Mora may forever be the place where the roads come together, whether it be highways 23 and 65, county roads 6 and 11, or the intersection just down the block where Union Street meets Forest Avenue. You know that intersection. You might still ask why, you might still be flustered and flummoxed by the changes all around you, but please be assured that my honorary hometown, Mora, Minnesota, is still a city small enough to know its limits, yet big enough to find a parking space. And I might add, a city fortunate enough to have its very own funky, fresh brass ensemble. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for your sonic pleasure, premiering their medley tribute to Prince, the Mora Second Ending Brass Group. Thank you, boys and girls. I don't think I've ever heard a brass ensemble play a Prince medley before. That was remarkable. It was outstanding. And remember, you don't have to be rich. All right, don't worry now. We'll bring them back for more in the second half of the show. Let's give them a moment to make their way safely down the steps, because if they fall, they'll sue the Paramount or the Paradise and own it. That's the way that works. If you fall here, remember, get an attorney. Every fall is money in your pocket in a couple of weeks. They'll be back here in a little bit. All right, and now for a quick word about the newest offering from my line of all-natural, handcrafted organic products, Dr. Kwamba's Buckthorn Spagyric.
People often ask the good doctor, just what the heck is a spagyric? I mean, we all know that you can drink it, bathe in it, gargle it, use it as astringent, and even use it to marinate chicken if you happen to be running short on soy sauce. But what exactly is spagyric, Stefano?
Funny you should ask, Barbara, as I was just thinking about spagyrics this morning. The original rationale behind the special herbal tinctures known as spagyrics seems to have been that an extract using alcohol could not be expected to contain all the medicinal properties from a living plant. And so, the ash or mineral component of the calcined plant was prepared separately and then added back to augment or increase the alcoholic tincture. These herbal tinctures are alleged to have superior medicinal properties, perhaps due to the formation of soap-like compounds from the essential oils and the basic salts contained within the ash.
So, in theory, these spagyrics can also optionally include material from fermentation of the plant material, as well as any aromatic component, such as might be obtained through distillation.
Precisely, Barbara.
And then the final spagyric becomes a reblending of all the extracts into one essence.
You've got it.
And there's nothing quite like the distilled essence of buckthorn, is there, Stefano?
No, there's not, Barbara.
To get a person going,
Going?
revved up,
Revved?
revved.
Up?
Do I have to draw you a diagram, Stefano?
No, of course not, Barbara.
That's Dr. Kwamba's Buckthorn Spagyric, now available in convenient 7-ounce designer bottles, as well as the super-sized 3.5-liter honeymoon tub, available only online at drkwambasmedicineshow.com.
The year is 1894. The setting is a remote cabin in northern Canby County. The season is winter. The wind howls. The wind howls louder. There is a knock at the door. There is a gunshot. Then a scream. Come along on a journey of nearly unbearable suspense as we go deeper, then deeper, and deeper still into the swamp. In the last episode, we discovered that John,
Is that you, Mary?
who is married to Mary,
Of course it's me, you idiot. Who else would it be?
Why can't hear you?
is actually in love with Rachel,
Oh, dearest John, what are we to do?
who is Mary's younger and slightly more conventionally attractive sister.
Let me in.
Mary has gone out in a blizzard to search for her former paramour, Peter,
My leg!
who is actually married to Rachel.
We can't let them back in, John.
But we must!
We can't!
We must! The dangers out there are just too horrific, Rachel.
But John!
The raging winds, the jagged antlered stag, the howling wolves.
But what about us, John?
Us?
What will become of us?
Us?
Our lust, our passion, our up to this point unconsummated love.
We could try sexting.
I'll be serious for a moment.
Let me in.
If you let her in, John, I swear
I'm
to
sorry,
God.
Rachel, but I must. Welcome back, dear wife.
Oh, sister, whatever were you thinking to venture out into a blizzard so foul?
What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I'll tell you what I was thinking, you cheap little concupiscent hussy.
Dear sister!
Mary, you really mustn't treat your beloved sibling with such...
Oh, and you no-good sick sack of Cialis.
Mary! Oh, please!
As if you didn't know.
Know what?
Mary, there's really no need to
No need to what, John?
reveal any confidential,
To what secret bit of unpleasantness is she alluding, John?
Rachel, pay no attention to the taunts of your sister.
Ask him about that party in the hotel.
Mary!
Ask him about his outfit.
Outfits.
It was a costume? Rachel, not an outfit.
Call it what you want.
There was a costume party.
There was a whole lot of lace, as I recall.
Mary, please.
A whole lot of lace and not much else.
Lace.
Mary, we agreed what happens in Duluth stays in Duluth.
What was that?
That was a gunshot, Rachel, and judging from the echo, I would say close by.
Oh, my leg! My leg!
Oh, dear, Peter.
Mary!
Peter!
Rachel!
Peter, you're getting blood all over the rug.
I'm sorry, dear Rachel. I'm ever so sorry for this horrible mess, and for any worry and discomfort I may have brought upon you, and for any lack of loyalty and faithfulness. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am oh so very sorry.
Okay, that's a little bit over the top.
Will Rachel accept Peter's apology and return to the embrace of his open but slightly bloodied arms? Will John share his deep, dark secret with Rachel? Will John and Rachel consummate their love, or will John return to the clutches of Rachel's older and slightly less conventionally attractive sister, Mary? Tune in for the answers to these and other pertinent questions in the next episode of Into the Swamp.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, special guests, honored dignitaries, and fine people from Sweden, China, and Japan, we would like to remind you of one of the most popular features of our program we call Radio Postcards.
2, 3, 4, radio postcards, radio postcards, radio postcards.
It's fast, it's easy, and everyone can play. Here's how it works. You jot down a simple message you would like to broadcast as part of our show tonight. It can be sweet, funny, sad, perhaps a message of love, desperation, or maybe just a basic, nice job in the big race. That part's up to you. It should have a greeting, Dear John, and a closing, Love Mom. You then deposit your message in the box located right up here at the front of the Paradise stage. We will collect the messages, sort through them at intermission, and read the most intriguing ones live on the air. Please keep in mind that your message is going out over the airwaves and therefore may live forever in the form of YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, and or Facebook.
2, 3, 4, radio postcards, radio postcards, radio postcards.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time again for that exciting segment of our program we call Random Swede.
Random Swede, Random Swede, it's time for Random Swede.
All right, as you know, the way we play is pretty basic. The name of every Swedish visitor in attendance here at the Paradise this evening is entered into a secure database, courtesy of the NSA, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and the exciting new Russian tech startup, PutinWorld.com. One Swedish name is then selected randomly through an extremely sophisticated electronic algorithmic process, and that name pops up magically on the random sweep ad on my phone. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. I'm activating the Random Swede app. My phone is blinking. I think that's a good thing. FOSSA Radio Hours 2019 Random Swede is Håkan Mosberg. Come on down. Håkan, are you here tonight? I know you were skiing in the race.
He's fallen and he can't get up.
All right, we'll try another name. The next name up is King Vasa, Matt Anderson.
Oh, Matt. Right this way, King.
There he is.
Right this way, King. Good to see you, man. You are one bedazzled dude. Look at all this stuff on there. Did you win all of those things, or were they gifts, or did you buy them at a convenience store?
They actually came from Mora, Sweden.
Truly from Mora, Sweden. Wow, that's fantastic.
Given to me yesterday.
Wow, they're beautiful. And how was your day? How has the weekend been for you? It's been quite cold, but you're accustomed to that, aren't you, King?
I normally am, but I got sick.
You got sick. Was it a stomach flu? We don't have to go into too many details, but share what you like.
I just didn't feel right in the head.
Welcome to my world, brother. Welcome to my world. That's a fantastic beard you have. Did you just grow that this morning?
It's been a little while. It's getting itchy. I'm ready to shave it.
I haven't shaved since high school. I have a hair problem, clearly. I got it up top, but none on the face. But it was a good day for you. What was the most exciting thing that occurred today for you as King Vasa here? What was the most exciting thing?
I saw 20 below.
Below the belt, or be more clear?
Degrees.
Wow, it was quite cold. And you were just wearing this ancient garb?
Yeah, this come from 30-some years of Mora Vasaloppets.
So it's a hand-me-down with serious hand-mes.
I'm only 50% Swedish.
Well, but it's a beautiful percentage, and you look great, and thank you so much for surviving the cold. What a brave and gentle scholar we have here. And the King, thank you so much. Anything you want to say in closing, now that you're on the internets and the NSA is clearly tracking your movements?
I know nothing.
Beautiful. I loved your work in Hogan's Heroes. Thank you very much, Matt. Matt Anderson, King for a day. Let's give it up for Matt. 2, 3, 4, random Swede, random Swede. It's time for random Swede. Woo! I love it when that happens. An unexpected chord. Ladies and gentlemen, you were in for a very special treat. If you, like me, are a sucker for a voluptuous voice, and quite frankly, who isn't, you will be enthralled by our next guest. Please, ladies and gentlemen of Mora, welcome, originally from Mora, Minnesota, Miss Joya Tellez. Joya! Joya! What a treat it is to see you again. Happy New Year. Happy Vasaloppet Day, or as I like to say, Vasaloppet Day. Zoya, what will you be performing for us this evening, my lovely bride?
Oh.
Not my bride. You were a bride for someone, but...
Got a husband down there. He might,
Sorry.
Whoop. Didn't know that was coming.
Neither did I.
Well, tonight we're doing an Eddie Cochran mashup. Eddie Cochran is born in Albert Lee, Minnesota. He is the father of rockabilly from the 1950s rock and roll. So that means it's 1950s rock and roll. So that means have fun. You can clap. Oh my goodness, you can make a noise and go woo.
Try it.
Yahoo! Yeah, I know we're kind of quiet here in Minnesota, but tonight you don't have to be. You get my permission. There you go. Well, come on, everybody, and let's get together tonight. I got some money in my jeans, and I'm really gonna spend it doo-wop. Yeah, we'll rock around the clock. Really have a ball. Doo-wop. First we hop, yeah, then we bop, yeah, then we stop. Rock and roll, we'll do it strong. Come on, everybody, hop, hop, hop. Come on, everybody. Come on, baby, you don't have to wait. I'm ready to I keep my knocking at your front door, and all the cats are hopping at the big front porch. Gee, when we reach that door. Yeah, I'll rock around that clock and really have a ball. I first you hop, yeah, 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 then you bop. Yeah, then you stop, you rock and roll, yeah, you feel that stroke. Yeah, you hop, yeah, yeah, then you bop. Yeah, yeah, then you stop, you rock and roll, yeah, you do that stroke. Come on, everybody, woo!
Thank you very much, Miss Joya Tejas, ladies and gentlemen. An extraordinary talent, to be sure. And don't you worry, my friends. We will bring her back for more in the second half of the Vasa Radio Hour.
Calling kids of all ages, hoarders of fine sports memorabilia, collectors of overly priced dolls, and connoisseurs of Scandinavia ephemeron. Make room on yourselves for the release of our newest Vasaloppet action figure, the 2019 Robin Wallace Krenskula. This one breaks the gender barrier, kids. This 5 1/2 inch fit and shapely Krenskula, sculpted from heat-resistant, non-toxic polyvinyl, punches through that glass ceiling with energy and charm to spare. The first offering in our all-new Krenskula line includes such lifelike details as a winsome, heartwarming smile and sparkling hazel eyes, as well as complete traditional Krenskula race day wardrobe. Makes a wonderful companion doll to the 2017 Vasaloppet action figure, Jimmy Wallace. Additional accessory items such as wooden-handled brass ringing bell, winner's wreath, and requisite pints of peppermint schnapps are not included, but are sold separately at fine toy stores everywhere. This item can be shipped to all 50 United States, including Alaska and Hawaii, but this item is not eligible for shipping to U.S. territories, Puerto Rico, Ogilvy, or certain remote regions of Pine County. This item should be handled delicately and can be dangerous to children under 3 years of age, small pets, and men over 40 who think they may be pregnant. The Robin Wallace action figure, still substitute teaching in the public schools, so you don't have to!
Bum KVAS.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, from Public Access Station KVAS in Warman, Minnesota, we bring you Food Tack with your host, the amiable Clara Nelsdaughter.
Well, hi there. I'm Paula Pearson, sitting in for my good friend Clara Nelsdaughter. Clara's been in Sweden for some time now, and she likes it so much there that in her last letter she joked about not coming back. At least we think it was a joke. So Clara, if you're tuning in tonight, Dorothy is still watering your fern and feeding your dog, so don't worry about that, okay? Today, I want to talk to you about a special kind of loss, about losing something that is near and dear to you. Now, don't get me wrong, I miss my husband when he and his lodge buddies go to Brainerd for the weekend, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a loss that cannot be expressed in human terms. I'm talking about a very special loss, like the loss of a favorite cookie cutter. That's right, you all know what I'm talking about. My famous Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cookie cutter. We had so many special times together, and he had so many wonderful attributes, like the way he loved to have his little feet dipped in the flour, or the way he sank up to his ankles and cut cleanly through a piece of freshly rolled dough, and the way my family used to decorate the little nose with the biggest lingonberry we could find. It looked so glowy. Now, I have been through every square inch of this kitchen, and there is no sign of Rudolph. So I decided to get professional help. So joining us today is retired FBI agent Cold Stone. Cold is from the Twin Cities, but he moved up here to enjoy his retirement days. Welcome to Food Tack, Cold.
It's a pleasure to be here, ma'am. And it's cold, not cold.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Cole, I get your name confused with that fancy ice cream place. You know, the one where they scoop completely fine, well-formed ice cream out of a container, and then they plop it down on a freezing cold stone, and they start mashing it around and mixing all kinds of stuff into the ice cream and scraping it back and forth like a Japanese chef until they finally scoop it all up, and then they put it in a dish and they hand it to you.
I wouldn't know about that, ma'am. I'm lactose intolerant.
Ice cream is a delight, but that process just seems unnatural to me. I think it's the stone that throws me most. I mean, how do I know where that stone has been and they're mashing my ice cream all over it?
I wouldn't know, ma'am. I'm a detective, not a food scientist.
Now, stone, there's a word for you. It does seem to be very popular. Let's see, there's that famous actress, Sharon Stone, she had the trouble with the dress in the one movie. And then there's that gorgeous director, Oliver Stone. He's a hunk, okay, who seemed to be obsessed with conspiracy theories. And of course, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what a cute little boy. And I recall, back in my college days, kids were talking about getting stone, but I'm not sure why they would want to do that. If they'd read their Bible, they would know you don't want to get stoned.
I wouldn't know about that either, ma'am. The FBI employee manual is my Bible. Ma'am, you should tell me about this missing cookie cutter. I've got a 2 o'clock appointment for my annual firearms recertification. My license expires today at midnight.
I am so sorry, Cold. I just can't keep my train of thought. Ever since that cookie cutter went missing, you know, it reminds me of that Bible story about the lost sheep and how the shepherd leaves all the sheep unattended while he goes looking for the one missing sheep. And I can't help wonder, well, what about the sheep that he left behind? What kept them from going missing while he was gone? And then that makes me wonder what other favorite things of mine might be missing. Right now, while I'm looking for Rudolph, maybe it could be my favorite paring knife. Oh my.
Ma'am,
oh my.
We need to focus on the cookie cutter. Did your cookie cutter have any enemies?
Oh, no. Everyone loved Rudolph. Everyone, well, maybe, except the Committee on Cookie Decency.
The Committee on Cookie Decency. Tell me more about them. Who are they? Are they anti-American? What's their M.O.?
Well, it started the year my husband lost control of the tractor and he ran into the house right on baking day. The collision rocked the house and the oven. You see, it caused several of the lingonberries to shift from Rudolph's little nose down to, well, closer to the tail. I didn't notice it, and I brought the batch of cookies to the annual cookie exchange.
A cookie exchange, huh? Now we're getting somewhere. Just where did this exchange take place? On a bridge? Between a free country and some horrible police state? Makes my red American blood boil.
No, silly, it was at the church. Now, I know my cookies are good, but I just couldn't figure out why everyone's crowded around my plates, and they're talking in whispers, and that Marge Williams was coaxing them on, I'm sure. She thinks she's so righteous, and to think her specialty is Russian tea cakes.
Madge Williams. Russians. Got it. Is that Madge with a G or a J?
You know, ever since Rudolph went missing, my dear sweet husband has been reassuring me I would find him. He's been such a support through all of this.
Husband? Sweet. Supportive. Got it.
He's so cute. He walks around in the woods and he's shooting holes in the leaves, and he never does bring home an animal, but he sure enjoys his time alone with nature.
Loves shooting, enjoys time alone. Got it.
He's working extra hours right now at the feed mill so he can buy that new shotgun. Come to think of it, he was working that week before Christmas when I was baking those cookies. I remember because I'd finished cleaning the cookie cutters when the phone rang. And when I'm baking, my husband usually answers the phone, but it just kept ringing and ringing. And it was Alice Johnson with an emergency question about how to extract several sugared corn pops from her 4-year-old's nasal passages.
Shotgun. Alice Johnson. Nasal passages. Wow,
Yes.
that's significant.
Sometimes those corn pops can be very difficult to extract, and once I had to break them apart with squeezing my son's nose and mashing them up, and they fell out, and you know, it kind of reminds me of the way they mash that ice cream at the Cold Stone. Maybe that's why I don't like the ice cream.
Corn pops, difficult to extract. Got it.
It's all coming back to me now. I had Rudolph in my right hand, and then the phone rang, and a few seconds later, the oven timer went off, and I gloved my left hand, opened the oven door, removed the cookie tray, then using my right foot, tipped the oven door up so it would close, but the door bumped the edge of the tray, and one of the cookies fell off on the floor and broke into pieces.
Phone rang, gloved hand, right foot. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, well, I couldn't just leave that mess on the floor, so I walked over to the broom closet right over here with a cookie sheet in my left hand, Rudolph in my right, gave the closet door a gentle kick like this, and it popped open, and I reached for the broom with my right hand, but I was holding Rudolph, so I gently slid him over the barrel of my husband's old 12-gauge shotgun right over here by the broom where he'd be safe. And oh my gosh! Oh, there he is! Right there where I left him. Rudolph! It's so good to see you again.
Cookie sheet, broom closet, gentle kick, shotgun. Oh my gosh! Rudolph!
Well, Cold, it looks like we solved that mystery. Thanks so much for your help today, Cold. And thanks to all of you for watching. Remember, if you have a mystery you can't solve, you call the FBI, but make sure to check the broom closet to see if your husband's shotgun is in there.
Call the FBI. Husband's shotgun can help. Got it. Now we're getting somewhere.
Bye-bye now.
This has been Food Tag with your favorite guest hostess, Paula Pearson, on your tastiest local public access station, KVAS.
KVAS. All right, up next, folks, we're in for another treat, some live music. We have brought a man here that's a legend throughout the Western Hemisphere. In fact, he's been asked by the President of the United States on 16 different occasions to host the Oscars, and he's refused each time. I don't know why. He has his reasons. His name is Lonnie. He's got a washboard abdomen. Lonnie Lefsey, ladies and gentlemen, he has put together a song. This is an original song that you wrote, is it not, Lonnie? Tell us a little bit about how you got to it.
Well, I guess I was just last year at last year's Vasaloppet. I was walking down, Union Street there, and I was looking up at the clock. I remember that, and as I was looking up at the clock, I hit my head on the clock, and I fell over and into the ice. I think I got a little frostbite on the back of my head while I was laying there for a while. But then when I got up later, it was maybe about a half an hour or so later, I had an idea. I had a vision. I had a vision of a rainbow of, those little candies, the Swedish fish.
Oh.
It was a rainbow of Swedish fish. And I plucked one out. I plucked one out and I put it in my mouth. This was all in my dream, remember? I'm frostbitten in the brain at this time. And a song appeared in my head, and this is the song. This is the song.
Well, we're thrilled, Lonnie. My God, what a process.
I do it every year.
Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Lonnie Lefsey.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. When the weather turns cooler, you can see the crunch cooler down Old Moor Way. When everyone else is shivering, you can catch her snake rivering with canoe at play. Airport pancakes are what her man makes on hunting's opening day. Oh, I have no fonder wish than dancing with my deep dish Swedish fish at a dear Vasaloppet. You got me agreeing that we should go skiing when the sun begins to rise. Me and my baby will always meet skiing by the clock on Union Street with snowflakes in our eyes. Our babies will go from the birthing center to the mini-lopet that they all will enter. It's fun at any size. Oh, I don't need a Vasaloppet ribbon. My gal's the brightest medal that I've been given. You are my first prize. Take it away. From unclaimed freight to the old Park Bell, you do the Vasa voodoo that you do so well, my snow angel above. So Crown Skula set a course, I bet my bottom dollar horse there's more of you to love. You say lope it, I say lop it, one of these days we have to stop it. We got lutefisk to lie. Oh, you're not jealous or possessive, just a little bit passive aggressive. I know you're Minnesota nice. So many reasons, it's a city for all seasons. There's more of you to love.
Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you. Thank you, Lonnie. That was just beautiful. That's going on to my car stereo. And now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Moarians of all ages, it's time for the Vasa Radio Hour's Top 10 list. What have we got going for the Top 10 list for this year, Elaine?
Thanks for asking, Dr. Kwamba. Vasa Radio Hour's Top 10 list for 2019, the Top 10 Vasa Mantras.
Vasa mantras? What the hell is a Vasa mantra?
Those little things that skiers whisper to themselves out on the trail to keep them going.
Oh, sort of like miniature self-motivational speeches.
You've got it, Dr. Kwamba.
Okay, then. The top 10 Vasa mantras. Things that skiers say to themselves out on the trail to keep themselves going. I could use a little mantra myself, as I sometimes have a tendency to veer off topic and find myself in the awkward zone buying meals I can't pay for. You'll help us out again, won't you, Elaine?
With pleasure, Dr. Kwamba.
Excellent. Helping us out once again, our very own Kranskula in residence, Elaine Armstrong.
Vasa Mantra number 10.
Never give up, never give up, never give up.
Vasa Mantra number 9.
Be in the moment, be in the moment, be in the moment.
Vasa mantra number 8.
Why did I let him talk me into this? Why did I let him talk me into this? Why did I let him talk me into this?
Vasa mantra number 7.
She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not.
Vasa mantra number 6.
Why am I still behind this 75-year-old guy? Why am I still behind the 75-year-old guy? Why am I still behind the 75-year-old guy?
Vasa mantra number 5.
My mama thinks I can. My mama thinks I can. My mama thinks I can.
Vasa mantra number 4.
We will rock you.
Vasa mantra number 3.
My hamstring doesn't hurt that bad. Doesn't hurt that bad. Doesn't hurt that bad.
Vasa mantra number 2.
Beer. Beer. Beer.
And finally, Vasa mantra number 1.
And the number 1 Vasa mantra?
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
There is no place like home indeed. I don't know about you, Elaine, but all of that mantra talk makes me kind of hungry. I think I'm going to mosey on up to the concession stand for some popcorn. So let's take a short break, shall we? And I'll meet you back here in about 15 minutes for the second half of the show.
The first portion of Vasa Radio Hour has been brought to you by First Light Health System. Thank you for tuning in. We will return shortly.
That's right, man. you see me okay when I wave at you? No, it's been great. I just have looked over at you a couple of times and I thought you could see me, but when Justin was sitting there, he was looking at me like, I was like, forget you.
Well, Susan said it's guitar and music is a little soft. I said, well, we can't.
Yeah, no, that
much about it.
just kind of have to trust the sound guys to balance it out.
Well, he can't. I'm not sure what he can do.
To boost that, you should be able to
He
boost
can't
yours.
do anything with mine.
You can't make it more volume?
No, I'm.
Maxed out?
The other things, anything that's like an input to that,
Box thing.
yeah, to that over module, then it goes up to his board. Anyway. Jesse did.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for him to hear.
It is, yeah. Yeah, in an ideal world, we would have monitors and
Him and kids.
yeah. Oh, God. We used to have a terrible time. We used to do it with essentially a band. So there was, drums, 2 guitars, bass, and to balance all of that, and then not get feedback. And then the guitar amp would, send out sound. What are we on? Oh, to go? To make it 10. Yeah. We got 15. Oh, we have 10. We can 10 do a last call for radio postcard. We got to go through.
You have Siri voice activated? It's so slick, man. I go like 6 times 10 minutes. And I voice switch all the time. Everybody in my office made fun of me, and now everybody in my office has a buzz. It's really remarkable.
Do you have that little thing at home?
I do have it.
Turn off the lights.
Hey Google, not that.
That's what I'm saying. Turn down the. Put on Netflix, do something.
Right, exactly. Like YouTube,
Yeah,
White House,
right,
Back
yep,
to Black.
yep. Now, we got the little, I forget what it's called, for good job, Christmas gift. Matt. I don't know.
All right, now you still have time to put in a radio postcard if you want to send out a greeting across the vast interwebs. You still have a couple of minutes to do that. Please write clearly and succinctly and hilariously. you're at 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
What's that? Oh, nice.
Yep. Trying to get Leighton's attention over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary humanoids of all ages and dimensions, visiting guests and foreign dignitaries, we proudly present the second half of tonight's program, brought to you by First Light Health System. Vasa Radio Hour is on the air. And once again, please welcome back to Mora, Minnesota, the majestic, the remarkable, the master of all things ceremonious, the one, the only, Dr. Kawamba.
Alrighty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You are again too kind. We're going to start off the second part of our show by reading some of the thoughtful messages that you created especially for Vasa Radio Hour's live streaming audience in the segment we call Radio Postcards. Radio Postcards, Radio Postcards, Radio Postcards. Alrighty then. The first postcard, all the way from Lafayette, California. A big shout out to Jim Walsh from our streaming audience. The wind chill is down to almost 60 degrees below zero. Have a nice Valentine's Day. Thank you, Jim. Stevie, I fed you before we left, so get off the counter and stop licking the butter. Stevie's his son, that's the weird part. Marty, if you're listening, I forgot to water the plants. That's okay, he forgot to pay the heat bill. The plants are dead. Hi to our favorite organic farmer, Rye. Hope you'll be going to bed soon so you can get up with the chickens in a few hours. Love, Mom and Dad. Baka! B. Ledsen at du inte kunde vara här. Enough said. Happy 30th birthday to Steve Austin. Happy birthday, Steve. And happy 29th birthday to Brent Pick. You're missing a great show. Why'd we even say happy birthday to those guys? They're not here. They're by the side of the Vasaloppet trail going. All right, to Vasa mantra number 4. This is actually to Vasa mantra number 4, he believes. He didn't write it down. It's okay, we did. I totally said that as John Holster passed me by Knife Lake. Why is this 75-year-old guy passing me? Why is this 75-year-old guy passing me? Why is this 75-year-old guy passing me? From the young slow skier. All right, this is a shout out to our skiers. Dear skiers, for those of you who skied the 58th today, you have my utmost respect. You have accomplished something truly extraordinary today and deserve this shout out. You continue to impress me. Sincerely, a lesser skier. Well done, very thoughtful. And this one, it goes out to Einar Ahlqvist. We are so proud of your Vasaloppet ski race performance. As you know, Norwegians rule, Swedes drool. Wow. Pretty sure that's how World War II started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our postcards for the evening. Let's give a big round of applause for 2, 3, 4, radio postcard, radio postcard, radio postcard. All righty. We're going to take another listen to the Morris Second Ending Brass Group in just a moment. But first, I wanted to chat a bit again with the group's leader, Linda, because I haven't seen her in 2 years and haven't spoken with her, as the audience can attest. How are you, Linda? You look great. You're wearing purple. Is that for Prince?
Yeah, and the Vikings.
Oh, that's right, the Vikings. I love hockey. So, now, how long has this group been together, and how long have you been a part of it?
We can't remember anymore. But you know, we're the second ending brass group because we don't practice enough to take the first ending and repeat.
So it's conceivable if you started a song, it could never end?
No, I think it'd end.
Right. At some point, somebody would say, I'm out of here, Linda. I love you and all. Right, no doubt. And how long have you been playing the trumpet? Today.
Today, couple hours.
Sweet. And I understand you play every instrument known to man, whether you blow it, stroke it, string it, whatever. You play them all. Is that correct?
Quite a few of them.
And by stroke it, I meant the live bass. You stroke the bass. What are you people? What are you wrong with you people?
Fun, that it is.
Making it sound a lot more fun. I want to party with you. So seriously, now I understand you were also a band instructor for a high school?
Yes, I was for about 30 some years.
Wow, so you kind of, let's give it that's pretty cool. And what was your favorite part about being a band instructor?
Oh, boy. Goosebumps when they played really well, and I'm serious about that. There were awesome moments.
That's really cool. I'm getting goosebumps right now, but it could just be the fentanyl I took this morning. All right, well, without further ado, let's give it up again, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Mora Second Ending Brass Group. Thank you again, the Mora second inning brass group.
And now, back to our KVAS studios.
KVAS.
Live from NPPR, Small Things Considered, with your roving reporter, Sarah Louise Shelley.
This is Sarah Louise Shelley reporting live from Mora, Minnesota, a small but vibrant community nestled comfortably amidst the low-lying swampland and thick underbrush of central Minnesota. Controversy has erupted recently due to the encroachment of ski trails upon the habitat of a rare subspecies of gray squirrel known locally as the Holstein squirrel. The origin of the subspecies itself remains something of a mystery. Locals describe the zoological phenomena thusly.
It pretty much looks like your regular run-of-the-mill gray squirrel, except it's white with black spots.
The squirrel represents a crucial element in our region's ecosystems.
Ain't no big deal if you ask me. Don't really know what all the fuss is about.
Jerry Peterson, spokesman for the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, explains his department's discovery.
At first, we thought it was a naturally occurring color variation, as we've seen gray squirrels that are actually jet black. And of course, on the other end of the spectrum, there are albino squirrels, which are pure white.
With those cute little pink eyes?
Right. But how these Holstein squirrels got to be spotted or variantly bipigmented, nobody knows for sure. Some of our biologists theorize that the native squirrels interbred with escaped or intentionally released pet flying squirrels. Or it could just be a genetic mutation. Another theory blames a disgruntled 4-H leader who had been let go by the county extension service for some of his experiments. It seems that he did some genetic modification out there in his milk house, and somehow he was able to graft some of the DNA from a prize-winning heifer onto that of a frozen squirrel embryo brought in by one of his 4-H'ers who had bagged the mother squirrel with a pellet gun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, Mr. Peterson, let me get this straight. Are you saying that some people in this region actually hunt squirrels?
Why, yes, ma'am.
And these so-called Holstein squirrels might actually be some mad scientist lab experiment gone terribly wrong? That these Holstein squirrels are actually part squirrel and part cow?
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far. But I wouldn't phrase it like that, no. But the unique coloration of these squirrels may very well be due, at least in part, to genetic engineering.
It's an abomination, I tell you.
It just ain't right.
It's against the laws of nature.
All of them gal-darn cow squirrels should be rounded up. Every last one of them. Trapped or lassoed, however they want to do it, and brought up to K&R Meats up there to the home place.
Up by Warman.
Up to Warman, yep. To the slaughterhouse up there.
And processed.
Processed?
Slaughtered.
OMG!
Humanely.
Butchered, is that better?
No!
And ground up into hamburger.
And donated to the food shelf.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Are you saying that people actually eat squirrel?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I eat squirrel meat all the time.
That's disgusting.
It tastes just like chicken.
It is an excellent source of protein.
Whoa, whoa. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Some of you are suggesting that the Holstein squirrel be eliminated as a subspecies totally wiped off the face of the earth?
Yep.
That's right.
This is worse than the baby seals.
And additionally, you're suggesting that the byproduct of this squirrel Armageddon, that is, the squirrel meat, might best be used to combat local hunger?
Yep.
It's a win-win.
Mr. Peterson?
The Minnesota DNR has not yet released its official recommendation.
And the organization I represent, PSSH, or PSH, a fun to say and easy to remember acronym for People Saving Squirrel Habitat, will seek to have the Holstein squirrel officially recognized and protected under the Federal Endangered Species Act.
That's the same piece of hooey that won't let me shoot the wolf that's been killing my lambs.
And furthermore, PSH will file an injunction in district court to halt any further Vasaloppet trail expansion in the Holstein squirrel's naturally occurring range until the federal courts have all but gone.
There's nothing that natural about that animal. That is natural.
It's the work of Satan.
It's just a mutation, and mutations are part of nature.
You're a mutation.
I'm a mutation. You're a mutation. Get your mutation out of here. I don't understand what the hell's going on. These people are on their mind.
No, those squirrels are tiny.
The
issue.
Ladies, please.
Hey.
Can we just agree to disagree?
Oh, come on.
No!
This issue surrounding the Holstein squirrel may continue to divide this otherwise bucolic community for quite some time. For these issues are varied and complex, the people impassioned, and the squirrels, well, as you can hear in the background, they seem to have the people right where they want them, divided and thus conquered in the palms of their tiny little claws. Live from Mora, Minnesota, this has been Small Things Considered with yours truly, Sarah Louise Shelley.
And now back to listener-supported KVAS.
KVAS. All right, thank you, NPPR, and thank you, Sarah Louise Shelley.
At this point in the program, we would like to acknowledge and sincerely thank some of our lesser sponsors. As you know so well by now, First Light Health System graciously serves as the premier sponsor of Vasa Radio Hour, and to them, we remain eternally grateful. However, we do get a little extra help along the way from the following lesser sponsors.
Graston Sausage Processors, where we still grind your meat one chunk at a time.
Quamba Freight and Salvage. Cheap junk that nobody really wants at only twice the price.
Pizza Hutch! Stick your arm in the Pizza Hutch, kids, and help solve the ages-old quandary. Is that a pizza in there? Or is it just an oven-roasted rabbit dipped in cheese?
And River Cut and Trim, your friendly color and design estheticians, making sure your flooring matches your ceiling tiles.
Mud Lake Distillery, creators of finely blended bourbons and whiskeys. With water like this, what could go wrong?
Mora Giraffe Rescue. You laugh now, but someday there's going to be a loose giraffe wandering around here in need of assistance. And you're going to say, wow, I sure wish there was a local nonprofit organization dedicated to handling this kind of predicament. And we're going to be there to assist that giraffe. And he will have zero complaints. Mora Giraffe Rescue. I swear we are going to be necessary someday.
Rock Creek Agate Polishers, let us buff your rocks, adding shine and luster to your family jewels since 1973.
Engelstad's Inflatable Ego. Ego problems, especially untimely fluctuations, can be difficult for you and those you love. Now, for the first time, you can monitor and fine-tune ego levels quickly and painlessly without the embarrassing side effects of family counseling. We simply install a pneumatic valve and an easy-to-operate remote control pump. The rest is up to you. Engelstad's Inflatable Ego. Simply call 1-800-ME-AND-ME. That's 1-800-ME-AND-ME. Operators are standing by.
Mille Lacs Artificial Bait Company with leeches so real, you'd swear they suck.
Peterson's Pick Your Own Prickly Pears. Our fruits may be thorny, but they're sure to keep you alert and wide awake.
And last, but certainly not least of the lesser sponsors,
Anxious Spouse Global Positioning Services, helping totally lost, confused, and technologically challenged men find their way out of the woods since 1999.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Vasa Radio Hour lesser sponsors.
All right, all right, all right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's welcome to the stage Irish fiddler, Amy Brosnahan. Hello, Amy. What will you be playing for us tonight, my dear?
Well, we have a Minnesota theme tonight, I understand. And so, for those of you who remember the Rockin' 90s, we will do a little closing time by the Minnesota band Semisonic, which, contrary to popular opinion, is not about the closing of a bar, but about the birth of the first child of the guy who wrote the song.
Thank you, Amy Brosnahan. See you there, Linda? I thought she stroked that instrument beautifully, didn't you? That was some beautiful stroking going on there. Thank you, Amy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present the return of last year's crowd favorite, an exciting audience interactive portion of our program we call Should I Stay or Should I Go? Tell them all about it, Dr. Kwamba.
Oh, gladly, Jessica. Should I stay or should I go is really quite simple. Everybody can play. We've invited our very own emergency room consultant, Dr. Terry Johnson, to provide expert testimony based on his years of experience as a family physician and an emergency room specialist. Though Dr. Johnson remains very busy in the ER, he has graciously consented to help us out here tonight. Now, we must remind you that the opinions expressed by Dr. Johnson are solely for the purposes of entertainment and should not be any way construed as medical advice. Oh, Jessica, would you be so kind as to run us through the medical disclaimer?
Certainly, Dr. Kwamba. The information on this program is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All contents, including text, graphics, images, and information contained in or available through this program, is for entertainment purposes only. Vasa Radio Hour, First Light Health System, and Dr. Terry Johnson make no representation and assume no responsibility for the accuracy of information contained in or available through this program, and such information is subject to change without notice. You are encouraged to confirm any information obtained from or through this program with other sources, and review all information regarding any medical condition or treatment with your physician. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking medical treatment because of something you heard on or accessed through the show. And finally, Vasa Radio Hour First Light Health Systems are not responsible nor liable for any advice, course of treatment, diagnosis, or any other information, services, or products that you obtain through the show.
Woo! Woo! Thank you, Jessica. That was quite a mouthful.
My pleasure, Dr. Kwamba.
All righty then. See, I've got a cold, doctor. What would you do if you cough a lot? Wow, that was easy. That was easy. Stop, cough a lot. Stop coughing. Drink some water. Honey. What are you calling me? Are you hitting on me? Is this what?
Right.
All righty then. Those disclaimers were quite amazing. We want to do that.
You have plans later?
Oh. My mother would be so proud. She wanted me to meet a doctor. So, all right, then enough of those disclaimers. We want to be very careful here because this is serious business. Now, here we go. We will present Dr. Johnson with an actual medical condition gathered by our research staff near the Vasaloppet finish line on Union Street right here in downtown Mora earlier today. Now, your task is to predict how good the doctor will respond, how the good doctor will respond. We know he'll respond good. Yeah, because he's got a degree and all that kind of stuff. So now your task is to predict how he'll respond. Will he say stay, as in this isn't worth the trip to the ER? Or will he say go, as in you better get to the emergency room immediately? So let's practice. Before we start with the medical questions, just to make certain that everyone here is on the same page, I will count down 3, 2, 1, and then you say stay or go. Now let's try it one time where everybody, the whole audience, as loudly as you possibly can to like wake everybody up in Cambridge. Well, let's try it one time. I'm going to count you down 3, 2, 1, and then you all say stay, okay? 3, 2, 1. Stay! I didn't hear a thing. Let's one more time. 3, 2, 1. Wow, Cambridge just said, what the hell they're doing in Mora? All right, so everybody gets the deal now. So I think we're finally ready to play Should I Stay or Should I Go? All right, our first potential patient, please.
I think my new Fisher SJs are too tight because lately when I push off, I've been experiencing a sudden sharp pain in my big toe on my left foot. It kind of radiates up my leg. I think that toe might be infected because when I take my socks off, it smells. Well, I mean, it always smells when I take my socks off, you know, like feet or from sweat or whatever. But the smell is like way worse. My toe is really red and irritated and kind of swollen. And I think there's some pus building up in there right under the nail. I just tried soaking it in the bathtub with Epsom salts like my grandma recommended, but that didn't seem to help. Is this what they call an ingrown toenail? The pain is getting worse. Should I come to the ER before I lose my toe?
Wow. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Smelly socks, a deadly symptom to be sure if ever there was one. Now, should he go to the emergency room or should he stay at home with the hope that his toe pain will subside? On the count of 3, audience. 3, 2, 1.
Well, I couldn't discern. They don't quite what to do. What would you make them do there, Doctor? What do you think?
Well, I think I heard mostly go, but there was, well, I suppose. But here's the deal. I would say stay for the most part. Now, there are times when you may need to go into the emergency room. Say, for example, this was the day before the race and you needed your foot to be able to ski. And in that case, then it might be a good idea to get it taken care of. But for the most part, I would. This is something that could be done at the clinic. In the emergency room, we don't take socks off. Now, if somebody comes in with a foot problem or if it's trauma related, we might take their socks off. But we don't want to take their socks off because we don't want to know what's in there. Because every so often you'll pull off somebody's socks and they have Dorito feet. That's feet that smell like nacho Doritos. And that's not as bad as Dorito feet and Frito nails. But in any case, in the emergency room, if you come in and see me for this, I would definitely drain the pus because, we all like pus in the ER. So.
Yes. And it's so satisfying when it drains, isn't it? Yeah. Immediate relief. Well, thank you, Doctor. That was a reasonable assertion. All right, up next, our next medical dilemma, please.
When I stand up, it feels like I'm swaying. Then when I sit down, everything just seems to spin, and it just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning, or faster and faster and faster, like I'm on the tilt-a-whirl or something, and I get super dizzy and feel like I'm going to hurl. I Googled my symptoms, and I think I might have vertigo. It seems to be getting worse and worse. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my balance and fall and smash into something. Is there any medication you can give me for this?
Vertigo. Now, that's a tough one. And I'm not talking about the Jimmy Stewart Hitchcock movie of the same name, Vertigo. All right, audience. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. Stago. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, so I think you mostly said go. And I think I would recommend go in this circumstance as well. And by the way, the Jimmy Stewart movie Vertigo is named incorrectly. It should have been named acrophobia because you do not get vertigo by climbing up a tower in a church. Vertigo can be serious. Sometimes it is serious. For the most part, it's not. And so when somebody has spinning, that's vertigo. And so vertigo is something that I do sometimes worry about. But commonly, people will come in to see me and they say that they're dizzy, and dizzy can mean lightheaded. And when we get sometimes these little old ladies who are weak and dizzy, you'll find that most people don't like to go and sign up for them because we can never figure out what's wrong because usually there isn't anything wrong. But I love patients like this because I can go get them a nice warm blanket and I make sure that I put it on myself so they know that I did it, and then at least I've done something for them to feel better.
And they pay you for that. See, you know that feeling you get when you're leaning back in a chair and you almost fall, but you catch yourself? I feel that way all the time. Is that weird?
Yes, it is.
It is weird, huh?
You should take less fentanyl.
Yeah, yeah, I got the fentanyl patch and also the Prozac patch, and I just don't care about anything, and I'm sleepy as hell. All right, up next, our final third and final medical predicament of the evening for the good doctor.
Occasionally, I wake up in the middle of the night with leg cramps. Lately, they've been getting stronger with episodes of cramping increasing in frequency and intensity. Usually, I can try to stretch a little bit and walk it off, but I don't know. Ow! This time it's bad, Doc, really bad. My tolerance for pain is usually pretty high, but this is killing me. I'm planning on skiing tomorrow, skijoring with my dog. So I really need to get rid of these cramps and get back to sleep. Help me, Doc, please.
Wow, leg cramps. I know the experience. I get those from time to time myself. Now, what do we think, audience? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Stay. I heard stay.
Yeah, I think mostly people said stay, and I would have to say, for the most part, I would say stay if it's just leg cramps. If you just skied the race and you've got cramps and your urine looks like Coca-Cola, please come into the emergency room. Because that's something I can help you with, possibly. If you just flew in from Sweden and your leg is giving you pain and it's swollen, well, yes, that's a circumstance where I'd like to have you come in. But for leg cramps that go away with stretching, that really is not something I want to see in the emergency room. And I noticed you said you have a high pain tolerance, which for us in the emergency room means exactly the opposite. When somebody says they think they have a high pain tolerance, it means just the opposite of that. And by the way, some of these circumstances people come in for, you can't really explain why they might be coming into the emergency room. We're really not the every little ache and pain or minor inconvenience room. And so please, it's the emergency room. And make sure that it's something serious to come in with. Last week during the polar vortex, I saw a number of people with just a cold, when it was 20 below outside. So, please, seriously, you don't have to come in for every little thing. But there you go. Thanks.
Thank you, Doctor. Good advice all around. I appreciate it, Terry. Thank you very much, sir. Wisdom indeed for sharing all of your expertise, and thank you also to First Light Health System. He's actually working in the emergency room tonight, so you're actually on call, is that right?
I worked today. I got off early to come here for this. I'm kind of sorry I did now, though.
I have that effect on doctors. I'll give you some aromatherapy. It'll take that edge right off. All right, there you have it. Should I stay or should I go? So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome back. Oh, please do the applause. Go nuts. Lose your minds. Thank you, Terry. I don't know if you noticed it, but when he left, he patted me on the back and actually put on a Vicodin patch. So I'll be just kind of coasting the rest of the evening. All righty, we're very excited to welcome back to the stage the charming and sophisticated vocal stylings of Zoya Tellez. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoya! So what do you have for us tonight, Zoya? Watch out for her. She has a high threshold for pain. Just do it yourself, Zoya. These people have no idea. Charming and sophisticated yet again, Zoya Tellez, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, one of my favorite singers of all time is Judy Garland. And she is also from Minnesota, Grand Rapids, Minnesota. And she made the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, a classic for all time.
Somewhere over the rainbow,
smelled like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Thank you so much, Zoya. Always a pleasure.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of Miracle on Union Street. Scene 1, Union Street. The day before Vasaloppet. Chaos. Doris Clocker, the executive director, runs frantically hither and yon, trying to organize.
Wreaths, check. Soup, check. Medals, check. Bibs, check.
Nearby, Kranskula Frau Net is trying to steady King Vasa, who has passed out in a snowbank.
King Vasa, you've got to get up. Are you drinking? The art show, the celebration tent, it's all happening. We need you.
What? I'm comfy here. Happy Vasaloppet, Funky Town. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town?
What is going on here? What now?
Our King Vasa went to the Taste of Vasaloppet craft beverage tasting event and never left. He's been in Funky Town ever since.
What's the matter? What are you looking at? Haven't you ever been in the presence of a king? Haven't you ever seen King Vasa before? I should ask you to kiss my my ring.
Oh my, this is not good. This is definitely not good.
This is a disgrace. You, sir, are not fit to be King Vasa. When you put on that grey jacket, you represent something to the world. Persistence, kindness, community spirit.
And also your spirit. Happy Vasaloppet!
Oh, what am I going to do now? He can't continue like this.
We need to find a substitute King Vasa.
Say, you over there, would you mind stepping in as King Vasa?
I'm not in the habit of substituting for ersatz King Vasas.
Oh, please. Think of all the skiers. Think of the volunteers. Think of the children.
Oh, all right, I'll do it for the children.
Oh, thank you so much. Finally, I can go home and see my daughter. What's your name, by the way, sir?
Gustav Eriksson.
Doris returns home to find their new neighbor ringing the front bell.
Ding dong.
I'm sorry, I just stopped in to introduce myself. I'm Ted Daly. I was just going to ask if I might take you and your daughter Lori up to meet King Vasa if she wanted. If you wanted.
King Vasa isn't real. He's just a nice old man with fake whiskers.
That's right, dear. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Daly.
Oh, can we, Mom? Can we?
Oh, it's been a very hectic day, and I'm not sure that...
Mom! You always say that Vasaloppet is the most important community event of the year.
Oh, all right.
A short time later at the pasta feed.
Get your pasta right here. Pasta line starts here.
King Vasa, this is Lori.
I know you're not really a king.
Oh, do you? You think I'm not really the father of Sweden, also known for ruthless bad temper, a fondness for music, and mythic travels by cross-country ski?
Yes, my mother says you're just a nice old man with a gray coat.
Well, your mother's a wise woman. Shall we eat some pasta?
I can't. Mom says I have to watch my carbs.
Nonsense. You need to front-load those carbs. Just twirl it on a spoon like this. Oh, oops. God.
You got it all over your face.
Scene 3, the next day. Early morning volunteers and skiers are everywhere making preparations.
Where's my...
How is everything going?
Oh, Doris, you're here just in time. The sheriff's office put King Vasa on a mental health hold.
What?
Someone from Ogilvy complained. They're saying this nice old guy thinks he really is King Vasa.
Oh, no.
There's a hearing scheduled first thing this morning. The county's trying to have him committed. If only we needed a lawyer.
I know one. Ring, ring, ring. Ted, this is Doris. We need your help.
The 10th District Court of Canby County is now in session.
You may proceed. From the county attorney?
Clearly, Your Honor, there's a danger to public safety here. This man thinks he's King Vasa. He is delusional and unable to distinguish fiction from reality.
Your Honor, that might be of concern if you or I thought we were King Vasa, but not if this man, Gustav Eriksson Vasa, thinks so.
He's crazy too.
I have here a decree from the current King of Sweden, Karl the 16th Gustav, in which His Royal Majesty temporarily abdicates the throne and names Gustav Vasa king for a day.
May I see the decree? Well, it certainly seems to be authentic.
And we have the assurance of the Swedish ambassador as well as the consul general from the Minneapolis office.
After review of all the evidence, this matter is dismissed.
Yeah, I know it! Oh my gosh, I better go get my son's race bib.
Oh, now the race can go on. Oh, how can we ever thank you?
How can you ever thank me? Take me to Funky Town?
Mom, can we go to Funky Town? This is Maura, dear, remember?
Won't
you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? Oh yes, and that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the Vasa Radio Hour for another year, my friends. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You have been a most splendid audience. Good night, and God bless.
A very special thank you to our sponsor, First Light Health System, to the staff and board of the Paradise Theater, to our sound engineer, Isaac Ballmer, to our tech director, Mackenzie Lucking, to Vasa players, Jesse Gillespie, Jared Faust, Jessica Faust, to our special musical guest, Joya Tejas, to fiddler Amy Brosnahan, to Vasa Radio Hour Kranskula in residence, Elaine Armstrong, to all the other Kranskulas, to Maestro Leighton Wilkening, to Linda Parson and the Mora Second Ending Bass Group, to our videographer, Matt Utek, to our digital feed video transmission wizard, John Larson, to our writers, Sally Larkin, Leighton Wilkening, Tom Niebuhr, and Harold Luber, and to all of you, our audience, thank you and good night.